And I'm in this place, oh yes I am. Am I really real, and am I really a man? I'm high above in the clouds where I belong. I step down from my throne and then I sing this song. Euphoria, 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 euphoria.
Hello everyone, Scott Leuthold here with 4Expedition. Welcome back to another episode on our YouTube channel. Today I'm coming to you from the village of Oak Creek. Behind me here is the beautiful Bell Rock, which is located between the village of Oak Creek and Sedona. I decided to come up this way for the weekend. I really needed an alone weekend away. Such a beautiful place to come from Phoenix. It only takes about an hour and a half to get up here. And the weather here today is in the mid-70s. Overnight temps will be in the 40s. I plan on doing a little overnight camp on top of the Mogollon Rim, which is a couple miles north of here between Sedona and Flagstaff. And to access that, I drive through Oak Creek Canyon, wind up the back switchbacks of Oak Creek Canyon, and on top of the rim there's a forest road that disperses off into the beautiful Coconino National Forest. I've had an awful lot going on for the past 6 months. My apologies for not putting out any YouTube videos in the meantime. I think the last one I put out was a stay up at a cabin up in Young, Arizona with my stepson Cameron, and nothing else since then. I really felt the desire to get up here and spend some time in nature and capture some video and share that all with you. I'm not going to really talk too much more on this at this moment, but I'll definitely check in with you a little bit later, so I hope you enjoy this video. Alright, so here I am at camp. I found a nice spot off of Forest Road 535, which is above Sedona. Well, one of the spots that I really wanted to camp was already taken, but that's alright. This is just a quick one-night weekend getaway alone. What I thought I'd do is I'd show you a little bit about how I packed my Subaru, because I have things set up pretty well where it only takes me about 10 minutes to pack and pretty much hit the road other than maybe packing my clothes. I even have a bin full of dry foods that I just keep in my kitchen cabinet. Just pull that out and I've got all sorts of food in there, which I showed you a little bit earlier. But I'm going to take a few minutes here to show you just how I have things packed up and give you some pointers and show you why I have a few things the way I do. So first things first, I've got a toolbox here, I've got a ratchet set. I always bring tools. Underneath here I've got some toe straps. I've got a jack extender because I have a lift on the Subaru. I keep that underneath where the spare tire used to be. Since I have a spare tire on the tire carrier, I don't need to carry a spare tire inside, which takes some of the weight off the vehicle. So I'm going to pull things out one at a time. I've got my water bricks. I get these on Amazon. They're 3.5 gallons each. Really great for long-term storage, and then you can get a little spout that comes along with it. So when you take things out of here, take out the toolbox. I do have some already cut pine wood. I'll probably look around for some other wood here in just a little bit. Pull that out. And pull out these water jugs. And then what you see here is I've got these really nice clear bins that have clamps on them that comes with it. Handles. I chose clear because I like to be able to see inside my bins. I've got a couple of these that are about this thickness, and I've got some taller ones like this, and I even have a thinner one that goes on top. And they kind of lock into place. It's really nice. Then in this area here, I've got a shovel. I've got a stool to sit on. I've got my inflatable bed because I'm going to sleep in the back of the Subaru tonight. I've got a fold-up chair, some solar panels. I even have a yoga mat here if I want to do some stretching. Then over on this side here, I've got a dog bed for my dog to lay outside next to the fire if I have one. In here, I've showed you this before. This is an iCamper hanging cabinet, if you will. And what I do is I put all my outdoor clothing inside this thing, and I just leave it in my garage. And when I come back, if I need to wash something, I wash it, and then I stick it back in here, and I just leave it in my garage all zipped up. No bugs or spiders can get inside, and everything that I need for an overnight camp with clothing wise, I've got a whole clothing camp system, is inside here. I just throw it in the car and I'm ready to go. Then I've got a small folding plastic table that I keep next to my chair. And then if I have some friends coming, my friend Brian might show up for the day. I've got some cornhole here. Below that, then I've got an Oz tent table. Everything fits in here very nicely without having to fold down the seats. And then I have two other bins that I put on the backseat floor. One of them has all of my technical gear, LED lights, headlamps, and things like that. And the other side, I put one that has all my dry food that I was just mentioning that I keep in my kitchen. So as you come over here, you can see that in my back seat on the floor, I've got two other plastic clear bins. They fit really nicely behind the seats. And obviously, if you have children that you're taking camping with you, you aren't able to put them there unless their kids are really small. Again, they're clear. This one's got all my dry food. Over there, we've got one that has all my electronics. I keep a dog bowl in the middle here. And then where I fold down the seat, I keep my Kula 5-gallon bucket cooler. And then in front of it, this green thing here, that's a campfire defender. It's a fiberglass blanket that you can lay over the top of your campfire at night. So if the wind picks up, you can just throw that right over the top, and keeps all the embers from blowing around. And then the only thing I have behind there that you can see, this kind of dark gray, is actually a toilet. So then outside of that, because I'm traveling by myself, I keep my clothing in the front here. I've got this super awesome Cotopaxi Alpaca 35 travel bag, and it really works well for when I want to do short vacation trips. It's a backpack, and I throw that on my back, and I take that with me when I travel a lot of times. And then I keep a pillow inside a plastic container here, and this is a pillow that I only use for camping, and I keep it in the plastic bag that comes with the pillow when you buy it. That way it stays completely clean and dry in the car, and as you can see, I've got it sitting on the floor, and I don't have to worry about it getting dirty. All right, so that's pretty much how I store everything in the Subaru on the way up. It's a real quick process. In my garage, I've got garage shelving right next to the vehicle. I just grab it, and I've got my stacking system. It goes right in literally 10 minutes I can be on the road. And again, like I said, if I don't bring food with me from home, I can just stop at a grocery store on the way up here to wherever I'm going and throw some food in there, throw some ice in there on the way, and I'm good to go. The only thing I really need to do beyond all of this, keeping everything organized, is make sure that when I get home, I've got all my electronics recharged back up. I charge everything the minute I get home. I put it back in the plastic bin where I store it, and then it's ready to go next time I go camping. know, I had a real hard time deciding to come up here this weekend because I've been working so hard. As most of you probably know, I took a position in September with a startup that was founded by the same guy that started a company called LifeLock, and it's been a bit of a shift for me because I spent 16 years being self-employed, and it's just such an awesome opportunity for me to work for this company, and it's been great so far. I've already got maybe 35 employees working for us now on our team, and we've raised some decent investor capital and all of that. But in January, I got a promotion from Vice President of Marketing to Chief Marketing Officer. And, you know, I've got a lot of responsibilities on my plate right now, so I don't really take I haven't taken any vacation. And on the weekends, I'm pretty exhausted from the week, like many of you probably are. And so I don't really want to go out of town. In fact, last night I just decided I was going to scrap it and I was going to stay home and just sleep in and relax. But I woke up around 4 o'clock this morning and was tossing and turning, and I thought, heck, why not get up and go out of town for the weekend? So that's what I did, and that's what brought me up here today, and I'm really glad I did, because once you get yourself to do something like this and just get out there, it's just really refreshing and brings some balance back to your life in ways that that you probably don't have in your life right now if you're not doing much of this kind of thing. So I'm really excited to be out here, and I do intend to do more traveling here pretty soon. Next weekend I'm going to Northern California for the weekend, and then the weekend after that I've got a business trip in Las Vegas, and then the weekend after that is Overland Expo. I'm not sure if some of you watching this are planning on going to Expo, but I'll be there with my good buddy Aaron Stanton. He's got his lifted Rubicon and Turtleback adventure trailer, and I'll have my Subaru with a rooftop tent on there. We'll be camping right at Expo. I probably won't be going to Expo after this year anymore. It's not really something I feel like I need to do anymore, and there's a lot more people there than used to be. But I'm going to go this last year and camp right at Expo so I can spend some time with the people that are putting on the event, people I know, some of the vendors that I know that invited me to spend some time with them last year when I was there, but I didn't stay on premises, so I'll be doing that. If you happen to see my Subaru, look for me. I'll be around. I'll probably be wearing this hat like I usually do, so if you see me in the crowd, don't be afraid to stop by and say hello. Well, I had a little visit from my friend Brian. You might have met him before in one of my other videos. He used to have a Nissan Xterra lifted. He and I went on the trip over Engineers Pass in Colorado last summer. But he got rid of his GS motorcycle and his Xterra and his BMW, and he consolidated all down to a Rubicon. Pretty nice one too. He's looking at getting a rooftop tent put on that thing, which is something I think you really ought to do. I always love having rooftop tents on vehicles. You can pretty much park anywhere. I mean, you can be in a rocky, horrible rocky terrain, and still, as long as you have a level spot, you can park and camp. So one of the things I'm going to do this weekend is read this book here. It's called The Stress Switch, The Truth About Stress and How to Short Circuit It by Dr. Amy Sarin. And Amy's actually my girlfriend. This book came out about a week ago, so it's hot off the press. She's been working on it for probably a year. I designed the book cover, and I've been a designer for about 27, 28 years. And I also photographed this really nice photo of her on the back. The book is endorsed by some people over at Mayo Clinic. and a gentleman named Michael Bruce, who's considered nation's sleep doctor. Amy's a really interesting individual, neuroscientist. She's had clinics in Phoenix, neuropsychology clinics in Phoenix called the Sarin Centers for many, many years. And she's done a lot of research there with thousands of people that she's treated and helped a lot of people. But she's also the inventor of a tech device called touch points. And touch points are digital tech wearables that you can wear in your wrists or in your pockets. You get 2 of them in a box. And what they do is they alternate vibration back and forth, and the vibration at different frequencies interferes with your fight or flight response in your brain, and as a result reduces your stress that you're experiencing within 30 seconds or less, which is really incredible. I wear these things when I have to do public speaking, sometimes when I'm experiencing something stressful that I want to mitigate as quick as possible. I can wear the touch points and it takes care of it. In fact, the devices last year won the Gold Edison Award in 2018, and then this year in 2019 at CES, Forbes magazine named touchpoints the #1 tech device for the wellness industry. Really incredible exposure that they're getting, and a lot of wonderful awards, and I'm really, really proud of her for that. But really incredible individual. If you want to pick up the book, you can get that, The Stress Switch, on Amazon. Just look up The Stress Switch, Dr. Amy Sarin, and you can pick it up there. I ask that if you do pick it up, that you also give it a review after you're done reading it. That would really be helpful. And if you want to pick up the touch points, or check them out, you can go to amysarin.com. That's SERIN. And I don't get any endorsements for helping her sell touch points or her books or anything, because I'm her boyfriend, and that's pretty much just what boyfriends are supposed to do. But anyhow, I really appreciate your support in that, and thanks for listening. The sun is starting to set over the western horizon on top of the trees. It's a beautiful glow shining through the branches. All the bugs are coming out and dancing in the sunlight. All of the green blades of grass are glowing and blowing in the breeze. You can hear the birds chirping. Wispy clouds are flying over. It's so quiet. I'm fortunate that I didn't deprive myself of this experience of staying home. I need the strength to do what is right. I'm sick of the struggle, the hate and the fight. I call on you now, come down from above. Get rid of the darkness, teach me to love again.
and I can breathe again.
Alright, so as you can see, I bring my own gym with me out to the forest. It's a pretty easy system. I've got a yoga mat that I bring for doing all my stretching and sit-ups and things like that on. I also use the yoga mat for push-ups. I use these swivel handles here for push-ups. Got 2 of them, real compact, no big deal. If you need to get your heart going again, you can always use them that way. I also bring a trusty jump rope. Don't bring one that's actual rope because it's just going to get really filthy, and this one's really great, really lightweight. And then I bring a tension strap, and what's really cool about this tension strap is you can stand on it and do curls. You can hang it from a tree and you can do some shoulder press type stuff. You can wrap it around a tree trunk and you can do some flies for pecs and all sorts of things. So that all fits into a very tiny little bag, and I've got a whole gym out here. And in fact, on my road trip back in 2011, when I traveled for 9 months, 13,000 miles, I brought this set up and I used it every day. And it was amazing just how good a shape I stayed in just by doing this routine every morning. All right, so I get a lot of people asking me where I go to the bathroom when I'm out here in the forest, and by a lot of people, I mean mostly women and people who aren't really all that experienced at camping in the forest. For those of you that are experienced overlanders, backcountry expedition travelers, I don't really need to show you or teach you how to go to the bathroom in the woods, but I am going to do a little walkthrough of my setup. I'm not going to give you the pleasure of watching me do my business, but I am going to just walk through the procedure. All right, so this is my bathroom setup here. If you're going to go to the bathroom in the forest, do yourself a favor, get a toilet seat. Don't try to squat. It's not good for your body. It's tough on your legs. Yeah, you maybe get something all over yourself. It's just no fun. There's no reason to do that. Get yourself a nice toilet seat. This one here you can get at pretty much any Walmart. It's got folding legs, so it's very compact. It's got a toilet seat cover. There's a nice toilet seat in here. It's got waste bags here so that you can line the inside of your toilet seat with the waste bags and take the waste with you. If you prefer not to take the waste with you, in some cases when you're camping a long period of time and you have to store a lot of waste, I understand if you don't want to take the waste with you. If you do that, do yourself and do me a favor. Get yourself a folding shovel. This is a military shovel I got at an Army surplus store. Get this, get a shovel like this, dig a nice deep hole, put the toilet seat over the top of it, do your business in the hole, and when you decide you're going to clean up, get yourself a nice plastic bag, bring that along. Do me a favor and do everyone else a favor that really cares about the forest. Take the toilet paper and the cleaning products with you inside a plastic bag. Real simple. You're sitting on the toilet, you finish your business, you wipe. If you want to clean up after yourself, get some wet wipes. Take all of it and put it in a plastic bag. Take the plastic bag with you. Take the shovel and fill the hole back in, and you're done. It's a pretty easy process. Just find a nice spot out in the woods, do your business, and you're done. But if you decide not to take the toilet paper with you and you allow it to sit out in the forest, what happens is it just dries up and it takes a long time for it to decompose. And if you walk around my campsite out in the circumference of the area here, you'll find there's a lot of toilet paper under the trees. And it's just sitting there dry, and it's just really a shame. And I'm going to show you a few examples of that right here. It's just really unfortunate that people do this and don't have the decency to remove their toilet paper, because it just sits here for years and years and years. I can just walk right over here. Here's some more. And this is a national forest camp that's not really a designated campsite. You're allowed to camp here. There's a fire ring that somebody left behind. you can pretty much camp anywhere in the national forest as long as you don't stay longer than 14 days. But here's the real problem. People come out here and they're not really all that conscious about what they're doing, and they leave things like this this grill here. This grill's probably been sitting here for a couple of years. It's just really kind of ridiculous that whoever brought it in here didn't take it out with them. Here's baby socks. Here's some more toilet paper. Over here is a diaper. It's really pretty ridiculous. And I'm probably several miles off of the highway in this national forest camp spot. And it's just really unfortunate that people can't clean up after themselves a little bit better than that. If you're out here in the forest, please do me a favor, do the rest of us a favor that really care. Pick up after yourself. So a while ago I was talking about how I have canisters that are see-through, and it's a really good example as to why I do that. I can tell that this one is actually a food container, and I've got another one just like it that has electronics in it. But I wanted to walk you through just how easy it is to store dry food in a container like this. And in my case, living in the desert, I've got to keep it inside the house, otherwise the food will go bad. But there's a lot of dry food in here that I like to bring with me, and I don't have to go shopping before I go camping sometimes because I've got plenty of food in here. But this is my oatmeal bag. It's got my breakfast stuff in here for different kinds of oatmeal and granola, and there's some craisins. And then I've got some coffee in here. I've got some crackers. I've got some kettle corn. I've got some chips here. If I bring some salsa along, I've got chips ready to go. I have some smokehouse almonds. I keep some dog food in here so I don't have to necessarily pack dog food. Some protein bars. I like to do these Nugo dark chocolate pretzel bars and cherry pie Lara bars. And then I keep some I keep some cans of tuna in here. I have to keep candles in here because I can't leave them in the garage because they'll melt in my garage. Got a little bit of sugar, got some soup. This is coconut oil. And then down here I've got some roasted garlic creamy mashed potatoes. I've got some packets of tuna. I have some lentils. Let's see, I've got some Mount Gay rum, some of the best rum from Barbados. I also keep in here some popcorn because I like to pop popcorn sometimes. I've got some more dog food, salt and pepper. This right here, this is actually just a little thing of a little bar of soap. I usually keep that on top of my water brick so that I can wash my hands really easily. I think I'll keep that out now. But as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff in here that is pretty easily accessible. Oh, here's some pasta. Although these days I'm not really cooking a whole lot of pasta because it takes so much time and uses up a lot of your fuel. But this just gives you a really good idea of the kind of food that you can take with you and keep in your dry food container and put it in your kitchen somewhere. And when you want to hit the road, you can just grab the container and go. And when I start running out of items in here, I replenish it so that it's always full. And that way I can just grab the container and go. And sometimes I don't even have to go to the grocery store. There's plenty of food that I've already got pre-packed. Just a really awesome way to bug out quickly and hit the road like I did at 4 o'clock yesterday morning. Now that's dead out. There was a camper that came in late last night, camped quite a ways down here beyond where I was camping. I saw that they had a campfire. And the wind is picked up right now, so I thought I'd run out there and make sure that they put their campfire completely out. Looks like they got their fire out. Coals are nice and wet. All right, everybody. I'm back to the highway. Looks like San Francisco peaks over here have some snow still on them in Flagstaff. You can see that from where I'm at right now. Heading home. It was a short trip, but I really hope you learned something and found it educational and interesting. And if not, maybe the next one will be. Until then, take care.